Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. There is a very toxic discussion that is going on in this country, one that must be stopped, or else it is going to plunge this nation into quagmire. I would want us to start this analysis by looking at this headline from, from Taifa Leo. And the headline here is saying, Ndoa mpya yanukia. And I want us to scrutinize the faces of the pictures that you see there. We have William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga given prominence, if you can see there. And then within, that is the coalition headed by Raila and William Ruto. And then in that coalition, I want you to look at the faces that are there. And the faces that are there are Musalia Mudavadi, who is currently the Chief Minister. Then we have Moses Wetangula, who is currently the Speaker of the National Assembly. Eden Duale is there. Joho Hassan is there. And of course, Alfred Mutua is there. Down, the description of that picture is wadadisi wa kisiasa wasema idadi kubwa ya wabunge iliyotumiwa kumng'atua naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua bungeni juma lililopita ilikuwa hatua ya kwanza tu ya kupima makali ya muungano unaosukwa kabla ya mwaka 2027. In a nutshell, it is said that the faces that you see here were the ones that were behind the oath of Rigathi Gachagua, and that the members of parliament who are charged against Gachagua, those members who are making noise and those who are responsible for the oath of Rigathi Gachagua, that was just a test of the strength of this unity, of the strength of this coalition that will be formed before 2027. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to look at the faces and tell me what you think about it. We have got 8 provinces in this country. And I want you to look at the faces one by one. You will realize that there are only 2 provinces that have been left out. Let's go one by one. William Ruto represents Rift Valley. Raila Amolo Odinga represents Nyanza. Mudavadi and Wetangula represents Western. Eden Duale represents Northeastern. Joho represents Coast. Alfred Mutua represents Eastern. The 2 provinces that have been left out are Nairobi and Central. Nairobi is cosmopolitan. Raila and Ruto are still in charge. And therefore, it can be concluded that the Nairobi is represented there. The one that is conspicuously missing is Central. Let us call it Mount Kenya, because that is the name that is now trending. Why do you think Mount Kenya has been deliberately left out in this formation? And before you answer that question, I want you to listen to these 2 clips, and it will inform you that there is a problem.
Ningetaka tu kusema huu ni wakati msito kwa Wakikuyu, na hasa ningetaka kuambia hii vita si kidogo, na niwaambie hii vita si ya Gachagua. Hii ni vita ya Wakikuyu wote. Vile tulifurahia wakati watu viongozi wetu walipiga uhuru mpaka huu Gachagua na wengine wale wako kwa serikali. Lakini huu si wakati wa kuulizana nani alipiga uhuru nani hakupiga uhuru. Huu ni wakati wa kujua tuko hatarini, sababu naona viongozi wote wameungana. Huu ni Raila na huu ni Ruto. Kwa sasa sisi tulichagua Ruto tukichukia Raila, tukichukia na tukiongopa Raila. Sasa wamesikana. Na Raila hana shughuli na sisi, sababu tulimkataa wakati alisaidia Kibaki, tulimkataa wakati aliletwa na Uhuru. Kwa hivyo he has nothing to lose, he is not happy with us. Kwa hivyo anatumiwa na Ruto. Ruto naye amekuwa akisema mchana peupo kwamba Wakikuyu wamekosea watu wao, na hakuna vile naweza pigana na Kikuyu kama huna kwa serikali. Kwa hivyo sisi tumepea serikali mchana peupe when we have the 50% of the vote tukapatia Ruto. Sasa hii kamba na tunyonga, sisi ndio tumepeana hii kamba, ndio tunyonge. Kwa hivyo ningetaka kuambia watu wetu mahali wapo, viongozi wetu wote, matajiri wetu wote, vijana wetu wote, Maina Jenga na wale viongozi wote mahali wapo, tukae chini hata kama ni viongozi wa kanisa, tukae chini, tujue tuko kwa hatari, na tukijua na tukiamua kabila yetu, tukiamini hivyo, hii hatari tutadilu naye. Kama vile tulindilu na msungu who was a superpower, who was controlling the biggest part of the world then, and we were primitive people then. Hii hatari sio kubwa vile kama wakati ule. Tukishikana tuko na uwezo. Wale Kikuyu wako anywhere in Kenya, na mwambia mjue mko hatarini. Na niwaambie viongozi, wakiongozi wanaishongwa na wale wote wanatuuza. Mradha na watu wote wale wa Kiambu, sababu Kiambu ndiye imeongoza kuuza watu. Ningetaka kuambia viongozi wa Kiambu wote pale malipo, kutoka sasa nyinyi ni adui wa ground.
I'm in Kirugoya, standard 6, and suddenly there is oathing.
There is?
Oathing, the 69 oath, 1969 oath.
Explain.
Where all people of Mount Kenya, excuse me, are trooping to Gatondo, to Jomo Kenyatta's home, to take oath. And where even school-going children are being asked to take oath. So I come home for holidays, and I'm told that even my younger brothers walked to go and take oath. The oath was being given at Kabare, so people were walking the 8 kilometers. A whole school, the people of age would walk.
And what was the oath?
The oath, as I heard it then, was to say for those of us from the mountainside that the presidency will not go beyond Mount Kenya. It will not go especially to the Luo nation.
Oh my God, this is literally...
Wamera, you know?
Yes.
And then, I later come to learn now as an adult that the odds were two. The Kiambu people were saying that the kingdom or the leadership should never cross River Shania.
You will agree with me that there is a deliberate effort to sideline Mount Kenya for reasons that I don't understand in the next formation. And I know that this is not the only formation. There will be other political realignments. But I'm really concerned because I have seen political undertones talking about the Pentagon is coming back. Pentagon is the picture that you see there. In 2007, Raila Amolo Odinga was heading that Pentagon. From Nyanza, there was William Ruto. From Rift Valley, Balala Najib was representing Coast. He has been replaced by Joho now. Joe Nyaga was there. He was a latecomer just to ensure that Mount Kenya was represented. Right now, there is no Mount Kenya at all. Ngilu was there. She has been replaced by Alfred Mutua. And of course, Mudavadi is there. So there is this toxic talk that we are forming Pentagon. And what informs the decision to sideline? One, you will realize that this is about the usual suspects, the political class. They have been there from 1980s up to date. They control us. We do what they want. There isn't any consideration of you and I. And if you want to know that it is true, I want to take you back to 2022, when William Ruto said that he will form a government of the hustlers. When he appointed his first cabinet, there were no hustlers in it. In fact, he even wanted to add the cast, the people like Millicent Omanga, Itumbi, Kidero. There was no mention or consideration of any hustler or Mamamboga. When he reconstituted the cabinet for the second time, there was no any consideration. So it is not about you and I. When Raila Amolo Odinga was given a chance to give Ruto 5 people to help him, that like they say, to give expertise in several areas, it was Joho, Oparanya, Opio and John Bade. There wasn't any hustler, there wasn't any youth. You know, it's always the usual suspects. And so these people have created a narrative that Raila has got a problem with Mount Kenya because Mount Kenya did not vote for him because they had taken an oath that they will never vote for him. And truth be told, they have never voted for him. It is said that Jaramogi gave Kenyatta the first victory when he formed government after he had been approached by the colonial masters, and he refused that he could not form a government before Kenyatta was removed from jail, before Kenyatta was released. Raila also said Kibaki tosha, but when Raila presented himself, they have never voted for him, maybe because of that oath. So it is on that account they are saying that Raila could be tired now, and Raila has realized that there is no need of even presenting himself to the Mount Kenya. It is now time for political revenge, for political betrayal, because he has been betrayed before. So they are picking on it. Number two, William Ruto himself said that he has a problem with the Kikuyus and that he wants to form a government first and then deal with them. And if you can see, it seems it was not a joke. And the reason why I'm saying that this discussion is very toxic is this. It is about the political class. It is not about the common Kikuyu and the common Luo and the common Costeria and the common Kamba being talked about here. Because look at those faces. Do they know the price of unga? Do they even know the price of the basic commodities? Why should some people come and segregate us among tribal lines? Where you now, they want us to identify ourselves with the tribe. I'm a Luo, I'm a Kisi, I'm what. Yet, when you look carefully where you live or where you work, you will realize that most of your friends could not even be those from your tribe. I want you to picture, especially if you are living katika vitongoji duni, those who live in the slums or the lowest middle class. I want you to imagine that you are sick or someone has come to attack you and you shout. Who will be the first person to come to your rescue? Is he Raila or Ruto or Budavadi or Joho? Who will come there? I want you to imagine that you are in need of some cash and you want someone to lend you some money. Who is the next neighborhood? And therefore, I'm saying that this kind of politics is wrong because Kikuyus are members of this community of Kenya, including everyone, Kambas and Luos and all that. We belong to this country. They are also taking advantage of the words of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. They are saying that they now want to form another company of shareholders that will exclude Gachagua and his people. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel very sad when I hear such comments. Because do you know what will happen next? In 2007, the country was divided. It was the country against Central. It is said that Kibaki won with only one province. And of course, he rigged. That was not rigging. That was robbery with violence. He robbed that election. But do you remember how people butchered and killed each other in the name of fighting for Kibaki and Raila? And I really condemn that. It was so bad that Kibaki had to rob, Raila of his victory. It was bad. But the common Mwananchi is the one that suffered. It is what led Uhuru and Ruto to go to Hague. We are all Kenyans. We are all taxpayers. And therefore, we are all shareholders. I want to urge Kenyans, in your area, with your friends where you play politics, shun tribalism. Please, let us remain a united nation. Let us not allow politicians to divide us along tribal lines. I want to pray and believe that this is the time for change, that we need to come out with an outfit, a political outfit that will be a vehicle for all of us, where Kikuyus will be there, Kambas will be there, Merus will be there, the Kisis, the Mijikenda from the coast, the Luyas and the Luos, all the Nubians, even the small communities, the Kalenjins, the Pokots and Ogieks will be there, everyone. So that we go and ensure that in 2027, we have two forces of change and forces of status quo. I feel very bad when I see such formations, and it is being discussed where you are, even if you don't want to say it. It is being discussed that we now want to form a political formation to exclude others and to include this and that. Ladies and gentlemen, let us get a new formation. that will go beyond tribe, that will go beyond party, that will include all of us. And such kind of politics must be condemned in the strongest terms possible.